You can see snow through April. We averaged 7 inches of snow this month, and we averaged 2.5 next month. We even averaged about 1/10 of an inch in May. Let's not talk about that, though, shall we? We had about 2 inches of snow last night, a little bit more than we expected as the snow kind of gathered together and got a little bit more energy. And as we said yesterday, the second round will be making its way in here later tonight, well off to the west into Mankato and Mason City, Iowa. It'll be here after 10, 11, even 12 o'clock tonight, but we'll stay cloudy with some flurries for the evening. That fresh snow making it look quite winterish in Port Washington at Rotary Park. You could actually see the grass there just a couple of days ago. The flag's not moving all that much. The wind is very light, northwesterly at 5. It is 19 degrees there, 22 here in Milwaukee, 18 in Waukesha as well as Fond du Lac. Fond du Lac had about 1.5 inches of snow. Meanwhile, Mugwanago had the most at about 2.8 inches of snow last night. Very fluffy. Started shoveling it last night or this morning, and I said, what am I doing? I have a snowblower. I shot that stuff for miles. It was great. 8 degrees is the wind chill in Waukesha, 12 here in Milwaukee. 19 by 7 o'clock with some flurries. Flurries to light snow by 10 o'clock, and definitely snow after midnight tonight. We'll pick up about 1 to 2 inches of snow by tomorrow morning. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Goddard. Well, slick conditions and snowy roads are being blamed for a deadly crash in Kenosha County. 20-year-old Haley Wrights died after losing control of her car and then sliding into oncoming traffic in Bristol. Now, her 4-month-old child was in the back seat. The baby was unharmed. The weather is likely to blame for a couple of crashes involving school buses this morning. This one happened in Mequon on North Port Washington Road, just south of Dungeness Bay. A car collided with a school bus. It's unclear if anyone was on board. And it doesn't appear any children were hurt in this crash on Capitol Drive this morning. An SUV slammed into the back of a school bus at 36th and Capitol around 8 o'clock this morning. Snow on the roads and speed likely to blame.
The weather set back transit buses today. If you rely on the bus home from work or school, you might still be dealing with weather-related delays. Buses are running behind schedule this morning because of the snow. If you are in need of salt, shovels, or ice scrapers, you might be out of luck. A lot of stores have stopped ordering the winter essentials to make room for spring offerings, including patio sets. It's cruel to walk into the store and see a patio set these days. Forget about finding gloves or a hat or boots. Those things long gone as well. The harsh winter has taken a toll on blood drives here and across the country. You can help out local blood banks by increasing their life-saving supply today at the BMO Harris Bradley Center in downtown Milwaukee. Blood donors, you will also get a voucher for a free ticket to a future Milwaukee Bucks game. The blood drive runs until 7 o'clock tonight. Now to the crisis in Ukraine. Secretary of State John Kerry traveled to Kiev today, where he expressed U.S. support for the interim government in Ukraine.
NBC's Ian Williams reports on Kerry's visit and his response to Russia seizing control of the country's Crimean Peninsula.
Secretary Kerry said he was coming today to show support for Ukraine's interim government. One of the first things he did was to go to a memorial that's been established on what was one of the barricades, one of the front lines, which is now covered in flowers, remembering those who died, many of them shot by snipers. Now, in practical terms, he also revealed a $1 billion loan guarantee scheme for Ukraine and said he would also be providing technical advice, experts to the central bank here. Now, in terms of talking about Russia, he was disdainful towards Vladimir Putin, accusing him of lying, and also talking at length about the sort of sanctions there may be against Russia if it doesn't withdraw its troops which are in Crimea.
If Russia does not choose to de-escalate, if it is not willing to work directly with the government of Ukraine, as we hope they will be, then our partners will have absolutely no choice but to join us to continue to expand upon steps we have taken in recent days in order to isolate Russia politically, diplomatically, and economically.
It's difficult to say where things will go from here. This was very much a rhetorical display we saw here today, and the next, of course, question will be how it's followed up. But certainly it has been very well received here. Ian Williams, NBC News, Kiev.
President Obama's $4 trillion 2015 budget is now in the hands of Congress. According to the White House, the budget aims to strengthen the economy, America's aging infrastructure, and shore up citizen fragile incomes. The budget outlines proposals to repair the country's highways and roads, expansion of the child care tax credit, and enhance job training.
Republicans have ousted State Assembly Leader Bill Kramer from his leadership post. This comes after allegations surfaced that he groped one woman and verbally abused another during a trip to Washington, D.C. last week. Kramer checked into a treatment facility over the weekend.
I'm disappointed with Representative Kramer. That's what I'm disappointed with. We need to, as a caucus, hold Representative Kramer accountable for the actions that he allegedly did this past week.
West Bend Republican Pat Strakota will serve as majority leader for the remainder of the legislative session. The state Senate has approved Republican Governor Scott Walker's $504 million tax cut plan. This proposal will cut income taxes by nearly $100 million. The plan would shrink property taxes on a median valued home by about $131 on this December's bill. It'll also save the typical taxpayer $46 a year in income taxes. This bill now goes on to the House. Just a little bit of snow made for a pretty slick morning on the roads.
Yes, Charles Benson is in the newsroom with a story new on Live at 5.
Thanks, Shannon and Steve. The commute, yeah, a little rough this morning, but it wasn't just because of the snow. Tonight, how a perfect storm led to a messy morning on the roads and what's being done to prepare for, yes, yet another round. That's coming up on Live at 5, guys.
Thank you, Charles.
Well, there's no Mardi Gras parades in Milwaukee, but that doesn't mean we don't know how to celebrate.
It is Punchki Day for our Polish population and everyone else who likes to bite into a nice, sweet, deep-fried treat on Fat Tuesday. Jonah Kaplan has a taste of some things Christians traditionally wind up giving up for Lent.
Learn by being here at National Bakery during rush hour on Punchki Day. First of all, there's so many different ways to even say the word. Punchki, we've heard Puchki, Punchki, Punchki, we've even heard Punchka recently. But I'll tell you one thing else, and that is here on Punchki Day, you learn that this day is about a lot of pride.
So like I said, today everybody's Polish. So you can put an SKI on my name and I don't care.
Like fans, they lined up and then feasted as family. The crowd spanned generations, tasting a delicacy that touches all the senses.
I feel my parents are here with me, doing what I'm supposed to do.
They stand together, and I've lived on the south side all my life. This baker's been on the south side as long as I've lived here, and no matter if the owner changes or not, it's still tradition, and it's a Polish bakery.
The Polish Punchki dates back centuries and has become a timeless, if not golden, pre-Lent recipe of vices. Bakers throw them in fryers, douse them in frosting, and then comes the filling.
Once the doors open and the lines come in and you feel that energy, that's when it's just like, oh, that's why we did this.
National Punchki Day, celebrating a food so sweet, it fills your heart.
So are you hungry yet? Check out all of these racks. More than 50 of them will be filled. How many Punchki is that in one day? Try 36,000. Talk about a tastefully delicious day. On Milwaukee's South Side, Jonah Kaplan, today's TMJ4.
Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett among those in line for Punchkis this morning, despite advice from his cardiologist.
There's a lot of Milwaukee pride. There's a lot of Polish pride. There's a lot of Southside pride. And you can tell anytime you walk in a bakery and there's an accordion player, something's going on. So it's a party.
It's a party in the newsroom. We've got like dozens of Punchki out there today.
Along with cake and ham and everything else.
Coming up, winter weather, not only a nuisance for many of us, also costing a lot of us some money.
Plus, are you expecting what you need to know about bringing your baby home to the family dog? Our pet vet joins us next.
I am beautiful in every single way.
Reaching out. Pass it on.
Get ready for spring and keep your lawn growing strong with Menard's Premium Lawn Fertilizers. A 17-pound bag of premium crabgrass preventer with lawn food feeds for up to 2 months, $9.99 after rebate. Finish jobs the right way with Loctite Polyseam Seal. It's tub and tile sealant that offers excellent adhesion and is great for sealing around bathtubs, sinks, shower stalls, tiles, and more. 10-ounce tubes in clear white or almond are just $3 each.
Save big money at Menards.
So let's just make it faster. Hey, welcome to Time Warner Cable.
100 megs, huh?
Excuse me?
I'm a psychic. I read minds.
No way.
Yes way. You were going to tell me that with Time Warner Cable, I can get internet speeds up to 100 megs. That's why I'm here.
Wow. And also,
Time Warner Cable's reliable internet performance lets me stream more content on more screens without buffering. Got it.
you're good. But did you know?
Did I know that Time Warner Cable offers internet at an everyday low price of $14.99 a month, and all I have to do is call 1-855-WANT-TWC? I'm psychic.
What about now?
You're wondering if you closed the garage door this morning.
Could have used you as a defensive coordinator when I was coaching.
I'm very good.
Call 1-855-WANT-TWC to get everyday low price internet for $14.99 a month, every day guaranteed. Just call 1-855-WANT-TWC or visit TWC.com today. Time Warner Cable. Enjoy better. Guaranteed.
Habish, and Rotier believes in protecting Wisconsin's injured. And with 100,000 bike helmets donated to Wisconsin children, we're protecting the future of our youth too.
Over 75 years of helping Wisconsin's injured. Habish, and Rotier.
For 4 big days, see over 300 RVs at the lowest prices around.
March 6th through the 9th, it's the 31st Annual Burlington RV Open House and RV Show. Just off I-94, exit 333 to Burlington RV.
It was a very special little girl.
The time has come.
Believe this Monday after The Voice on NBC.
Open the door!
You have to ask yourself, what would you do for your children? NBC's Crisis premieres Sunday, March 16th.
For your money this afternoon, here's a look at how the markets fared at the close of business today. Green arrows across the board. A great day for the Dow, up 227. The Nasdaq up 74. S&P 500 closing 28 points higher on the trading day. More money headlines now.
Gas prices are creeping back up. A gallon of gas has gone up for more than 12 cents in just the last week in the Milwaukee area. The average price of a gallon of gas right now is $3.56 in Wisconsin. Our wild winter weather is costing us money too. According to Mass Flight, January's weather alone has cost passengers $2.5 billion, all due to flight delays or cancellations. If your flight is canceled, on average, it takes an additional 18 hours of travel time to finally reach your destination. And during that time, flyers rack up on unanticipated costs like food, hotel rooms, taxis, or even a rent-a-car, not to mention lost productivity, all expenses the airline doesn't have to cover. Our winter got worse today. The morning snow.
Yes, it did. Any day I have to scrape snow off my car, Brian Goddard, is a day that winter gets worse.
I got to fire up the snow blower. It was fun.
There's a lot of snow.
We were expecting an inch or less. I had 2 inches of snow in my driveway. Some folks had about 2.5. So it was a little bit more than expected. It kind of gathered some strength overnight, quickly moved out of here, created all kinds of headaches for the morning commute. And you can expect that once again for tomorrow, as there's that second round that we were talking about yesterday back into the Dakotas, Iowa, and Minnesota. Quickly moving, it's a clipper system, and we've had the clouds all day. We've had the flurries, so that snow won't get here until sometime after 10, 11 o'clock. An additional 1 to 2 inches of snow is expected. Dare I say, some spots might get about 2.5 inches of snow like they did last night. But generally speaking, very light snow, fluffy snow, easy to shovel. Or like my case, I started to shovel this morning, and I said, forget this. Fired up the snow blower. That stuff so light it flew all the way to Port Washington. Sorry about that. Waterford, 2.8 inches of snow. They won the golden shovel for this morning. 2.7 at Mugwanago. Franklin at 2.5, so much for the inch or less. Fond du Lac was close to that, about 1.2. Cedarburg and Grafton and Port Washington about 2 inches as well. We'll have that 1 to 2 inches of snow overnight tonight. Some lingering flurries or light snow early tomorrow morning during the commute. And then like today, mostly cloudy for the rest of the afternoon. Warm front off to the west will try to get here by Thursday night. Friday for sure will be in the mid to upper 30s, but with another cold front making its way in here, a little wintry mix of rain, sleet, and snow. Behind it, yeah, it gets colder for the weekend, but we're talking upper 20s to lower 30s. I can take that kind of a cold front. I don't need another cold front anymore this year that drops us below zero, so maybe things are starting to change. 18 in Rhinelander right now, 20 in Madison. 22 in Milwaukee. Even the Midwest still cold, but not as bad as yesterday, where the deep south were in the teens. They had the ice storm on Sunday and Monday. Now they're starting to melt some of that. Denver's 61. We will not see any of that warmth. It will slowly start to warm up. Talk about a big warm-up from last night. 17 below was yesterday morning's low. We're 10 above, in Fond du Lac, so that's a big warm-up. 10 this morning in Milwaukee after being 1 below yesterday. It has been a dreary Tuesday with some scattered flurries. 22 degrees, at least the wind is light at only 6 miles per hour. 18 in Waukesha, also in Beaver Dam, 20 in Burlington and Port Washington. Lows tonight back into the single digits and teens. Light northeasterly wind, about 1 to 2 inches of snow developing after midnight. And then we're back into the upper teens to lower 20s tomorrow, but a little bit different. The snow will be early in the day like today, but the winds are going to pick up, so wind chills will be in the single digits most of the day tomorrow. This little system pushes on through tonight. Quiet for Thursday. That'll be nice. And then here comes the warming trend for Friday. Tonight, 13 degrees, 1 to 2 inches of snow by morning. Tomorrow, 22 degrees, morning flurries, and then maybe a few peaks of sun by the afternoon. The 10-day outlook, 27 on Thursday, 36 with a light wintry mix throughout the day on Friday. The weekend, a little bit colder, upper 20s to lower 30s, but the sun is out. 40 both Monday and Tuesday, but that's settle down. We're going to scare the dog over there. Yeah. And then we're back into the 30s for the rest of next week. The dog must be just hating winter.
I don't know. Some dogs like it. Time now for Ask the Expert, our resident pet vet, joining us today about dogs and their owners' pregnancies.
Dr. Katie Heinrich with the Animal Wellness Center is here with Lambo, a very active and excited
This is definitely a 6-month-old dog.
Yellow lab. Now, Lambo's human mom is pregnant, and I'm wondering, do dogs know when women are pregnant?
They sure seem to. I mean, we don't have scientific evidence that that's the case, but biologically it's very plausible, and I can tell you I've had a ton of clients tell me that the dog knew that they were pregnant before they did.
Oh, but dogs have such sharp senses of smell.
That's it.
Any hormonal difference in your body, they're going to pick up on.
You're absolutely right. There's so many biochemical changes that they can sense that in an instant. And there's actually a dog that was trained to detect colorectal cancer.
Wow.
And could, with 95 and 98% accuracy in 2 different sets of samples. So it's amazing what they can smell in the human body.
He's a ham.
Yeah. So what is the best way to introduce a dog to your newborn?
So generally, if you are having the baby in a hospital, while you're there, you want someone to bring items of clothing home, things that have the baby and the mom's scent on them, and get, give them lots of treats when they're smelling it, get them used to, just having a pleasurable association with those things. So you get them used to the smell, and then when mom is coming home, if mom has a very strong bond with the dog, it's actually best that someone else carry the baby into the house so she has her hands free, and then can give the dog the attention that that he'll probably need right off the bat when she first gets home. And and then after that, it's just a matter, babies just totally rock everyone's world, and you do the best you can giving the dog as much exercise and activity and keeping their schedule somewhat reasonable. And you ask for a lot of help with that.
What do you need to be careful with when you're bringing a baby around a dog?
A dog like this, would probably be very, very excited around a baby and would be very sweet with the baby, but would probably be too rough. So you just always have, especially when you're first introducing a baby, have 2 people, someone holding the baby, someone holding the dog on a leash to see how they're going to interact. And you let the dog politely sniff the baby. Anything that's getting too rough, then you have to distract,
tame them.
Exactly. You distract and redirect and then try again later.
I know people love labs, but are there any breeds that are specifically good with babies as opposed to young adults or young children?
There's a lot of breeds that are really good with kids. I hesitate to name specific ones just because any dog has
Lambo
the capacity.
must be great, right?
Yeah,
as long as he's over there.
Labs and Goldens tend to be very good family dogs. A lot of like Cavalier King Charles Spaniels, if I am naming breeds, they tend to be really good family dogs. But any dog you do not want to leave alone with a child.
Dr. Katie, thanks for bringing Lambo in today. Got a question for the experts? Send an email, asktheexpert, today's TMJ4.com. You can also leave a voicemail. That number is right there on your screen.
Say bye, Lambo.